you like the show. Never before in my life have I needed to water a tree. But here I am, bringing buckets of water out every couple of days so my mighty oak will be a healthy tree filled with colorful leaves at the changing seasons. Granted, my mighty oak is about 3 feet tall. It's the only tree that was on the property we bought, but okay, I'll water it. And maybe when no one else's tree leaves transform through vibrant colors for a month before autumn turns to winter in this semi-arid town, maybe then I can smile at my 3-foot-tall mighty oak, the only tree I've got, as I reach down and touch the golden and sepia leaves at the top of my tree. Autumn, the sight of vibrant, colorful leaves, a sunburst of coral reds and rich ambers. Autumn, the smell of burning leaves and a thin line of smoke rising from a pile of ashes. Autumn, the taste of fall harvests and all the fixins cooking for a small, happy, thankful family. Autumn, touch a leaf falling from a treetop, guided by a cool autumn breeze. Autumn, just look around, it's here, and all you have to do is enjoy it. I figured I should be actually going to things. Oh, and I needed some crickets to make this complete. I did. I thought I needed to have some crickets going on for this. But now I was going to share with you a few poems that are about relationships. This first one is called Who You Tell Your Dreams To. We were driving down the freeway, you and me in the pickup truck, and your girlfriend in between, where you could move that gear shift that would mean so much to you. And you saw something you thought was beautiful, and you said, look at the lines, look at how it was made. And you were inspired by the beauty of an everyday object that no one else ever noticed. And your girlfriend, riding in the middle, said, that's him. People think he's crazy. And I thought, no, it just depends on who you tell your dreams to. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it in the truck. I couldn't say it. But the title of this next piece is titled
You and Your Girlfriend.
You and Me and Your Girlfriend. Got off on 2 piles like that. But this one's called You and Me and Your Girlfriend. I guess I could have had that up for the last one. We went out for dinner together, you and me and your girlfriend, to a restaurant in Malibu, where the balcony that hung over the water. Had a perfectly lovely time. You and me and your girlfriend talking about life, catching up. And you suggested that we should go out on the balcony. And I thought that would be charming for you and me and your girlfriend. But we hadn't paid our bill yet, so your girlfriend told us to go on without her. We stood on the outside and leaned on that rail, you and me. And we leaned on the water, we listened to the water crash onto the rocks below, and we talked. But now it wasn't about catching up, you and me. It was about ideas, dreams, plans. And before I knew it, we were out there for nearly an hour. And I said, what about your girlfriend? She was waiting for us all this time. And you said, oh yeah, and didn't move an inch. What I think I like the most about you is the way you always leave me wanting more. When you kiss me and we start to pull back, I want to cock my head and kiss you again, but I never know if you'll let me. What I think I like the most about you is the way you roll your sultry, deep voice over me like a wave of heat on a summer afternoon. You use a pause to tease me with your words until sweat dances down my hairline and tickles my neck. What I think I like the most about you is when I slide my arms around your waist and I want to just collapse in your grasp as you run your hands up and down my back until I hear you moan and sigh. What I think I like the most about you is the way that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and that when we touch, you say we should take it slow, take our time, enjoy every moment. And you know, you couldn't be more right. What I think I like the most about you are the things that make me think I have to fight for you, are the things that make me have to second guess myself, because nothing's ever easy. Not you, not me, not relationships, not love. What I think I like the most about you is the wondering, is the waiting, is the teasing. That's what I like. This high-charged guessing game, the flirting, the first everything, thinking about the possibilities. Yeah, that's what I like. This next poem I would like to share with you was a poem that I did with a co-feature in Chicago with a man that was second-place winner for the Poetry Slams for Chicago. And it was the first show that I'd ever done at this open mic that I later then took over as a host for. But this poem is called And I'm Wondering. And I'm wondering if there's something chemical that brings people together, something that brings people to their knees, something that sucks them in. And I'm wondering if you're sensing what I'm sensing. Is it just me? Am I making this up in my head? Or when I glance over and catch your eyes, well, are you actually staring at me? And I'm wondering if it could work out this time, if we have one of those relationships that no one ever doubts, especially us, because we know we'll always be in love. And I'm wondering if you'd find my neurotic pet peeves charming, like how I hate it when someone touches my belly because I'm so self-conscious. And I'm wondering why you had to tell me when we happen to be sitting next to each other that the fact that our legs were almost touching was making your heart race. And I'm wondering why I felt the need to take your cigarette and inhale, exhale, while the filter was still warm from your lips there just seconds before. And I'm wondering if a year or two from now, after we've been going out and should have gotten to that point where we're bored with each other and sink into that comfortable rut, if you saw me making macaroni and cheese in the kitchen using margarine and water because I had no milk, and I've got my hair pulled back and strands are falling into my eyes, and I'm wearing an oversized button-down denim shirt and nothing else, well, what I'm wondering is if you would see me like this and still think I was sexy. Well, when I glance up and I catch your eyes from across the room, when I see your eyes dart away, when I feel this chemical reaction, well, what I'm wondering is, do you feel it too? in the first show I ever did there, and I just actually went back to visit Chicago, and I guest hosted and featured. I had a feature there, and this next poem is the last poem I did in my feature there at that show. So I'll go to the most recent thing. Now this one, for the next few pieces, are talking about sestina variations. This poem is called Just by Holding His Hand, an extreme 2016 sestina variation. When we're walking down the street in stride, and our feet pump out the same rhythm, and our shoulders are almost touching, and our hands seem to brush up against and along each other for one brief moment. In that one brief moment, our hands almost touch, and he reaches over and he takes my hand. He slides his fingers around my hand, and I feel him move along my palm to my fingers. When he moves along my palm to my fingers, no one knows what it feels like then, when his fingers curl and hold me tight. Well, it feels like pop rocks. You know when it feels like pop rocks, that candy is sliding down your throat after you let it explode on your tongue, and it's tingled. Oh, you know that feeling. And no one else is eating those pop rocks, and no one knows this tingling feeling. And this is my little secret. And I love keeping this little secret when I feel this feeling like never before, and it makes me want to laugh and cry, because when I look around the room, I know no one is eating those pop rocks, and no one knows this feeling when he's holding my hand. No one knows this feeling when he's holding my hand. It's like candy and cupids and hearts and sunshine and all these generic symbols of love that never explain it just right. No words can ever explain it just right. It's catching your breath, falling from an airplane. It's climbing a mountain. It's standing on a glacier. It's following dolphins. It's swimming with sharks. It's turning your head to see those fingers interlocked with yours as you're walking in stride. Because then and there, walking in stride, you think of those pop rocks tingling down your throat. And now this feeling hits all of your nerves, because pop rocks never felt like this. And now nothing has ever felt like this. It's in all of your muscles and all of your nerves. And now you want to hold on for your life. And now you feel something you've never felt before. All just by holding his hand. When I fell in love for real, he then said to me, I want to marry you. I want to marry you in autumn, when the leaves are changing, when the weather is perfect. I felt the enchanting, changing season. This is now our transformation. When he said to me, I want to marry you in autumn. I'm going to close with this poem because I read part of it at our wedding. And this is, as I said, sestina variations. This is Looking for a Worthy Adversary, an extreme sestina variation. I've been looking for a worthy adversary, someone I can lock horns with. Although my life makes more sense when I'm alone, it's not nearly as interesting. Alone, it's not nearly as interesting, so I look for a worthy adversary, someone I could battle to the death with, because it can't be about love, you see. Love can't exist on the terms I demand. It's never that pure. What I demand is never that pure. As I'm looking for a worthy adversary, I slither up to you like a snake, and I tempt you with a golden apple. I'd tempt you with that golden apple, but all I was offering you was fruit from the tree of knowledge. This snake gives you the tree of knowledge because all this time I've been playing a part, an actress on a stage, spouting lines on cue. But that role was tiresome, but those lights came on night after night, and I still had to play my part. I played my part until my night off when I saw your show. Your protagonist was doing what I was doing, right down to faking it with those who don't matter, right down to going home and still feeling empty. I play my part. I still feel empty. But I like to see your boiling emotion underneath that no one else could see. I know what that emotion really means. When I know what that emotion really means, I wonder if we could get together and write our own play. If we wrote our own play, it would be a masterful performance. Curtains would close, we'd hold each other's hands, and we'd leave that stage, and that audience would know there's a happy ending. When I know there's a happy ending, I walk out on the set, and there you stand, in front, stage left, and I wait for my cue to make my move. None of the rest of the scene matters. If the rest of the scene doesn't really matter, I wonder if the audience would see what we have. Maybe they'd like our little play. Maybe they wouldn't. Who really cares? Who really cares? Because after I tempted you, you now tempt me and tease me and torment me and tell me everything I was too afraid to believe. I was too afraid to believe, and now you talk. You reach your hand into my brain and pull out my thoughts and shove them into your mouth and spit them back at me. You spit my thoughts back at me again, and instead of filling me with terror, it fills me with joy. It fills me with joy because I thought I'd lock horns for that worthy adversary. But now, every day is like Valentine's Day. It's like candy and flowers and springtime and hearts and cupids and sunshine. And all these cliches are beginning to make sense. No longer locking horns and everything making sense. I stand here like a statue after the performance of my lifetime and wait for the reviews. As I wait for the reviews, I wonder what they'll say, though none of it matters. None of it matters because I know what you are going to say. It's everything I've always wanted to say. All I've wanted to say is now you taking my thoughts again and shoving them into your mouth again and spitting them back at me again. So I will wait for you to come on stage again where we have our happy endings and you tell me what I already know.